Hello and welcome to asliga.com. This is another video article, and today, ahead of Game Week 7, I would like to talk to you a little bit about West Ham United. Now, West Ham did what no other team has done so far this season and defeated Manchester City. They also scored against Manchester City, which is another thing no team has been able to do thus far. They're currently coming third and flying high and playing quite well. Now, last week in my captain's article, I thought that Manchester City were going to do a job on West Ham last week, and I pointed out that West Ham had not conceded a goal on the road so far this season. Their two away games were against Arsenal in Game Week 1, who were not good at all, and then Liverpool in Game Week 4, who have not been playing well either. So I thought, Manchester City were probably, considering what we'd seen from them so far, were going to be less forgiving and would beat West Ham, and they would concede away, which they did. But if we take a look at their away form now, what I thought was, I always say 2 points make a line, not a pattern. But we now have 3 fixtures. We can start to see this as perhaps being a pattern. To say 6 weeks in that you've beaten Arsenal, Liverpool, and Manchester City in their respective backyards, and only conceded 1 goal in the process is quite a feat. So we may conclude that West Ham have got their away game down. And if we take a look at their upcoming fixtures, they have 3 away games coming up, which are much more favourable than the away games they've had thus far. They've got Sunderland in Game Week 8, Crystal Palace in Game Week 9, and Watford in Game Week 10. They do have a home fixture against Norwich this weekend, which I think you would expect West Ham, especially the way they've been playing, to pick up a win. And they do have a tougher fixture against Chelsea in Game Week 10. But I think we can look towards West Ham over the next 5 weeks for some points. Now, the obvious choice here is Payet, who has been doing quite well. In fact, if we take a look at the key passes for West Ham, here you go. We'll see that Payet is miles ahead of the rest. He's got 19 key passes. His next closest competitor is Cresswell on 7, 12 behind. So at the moment, if someone's going to take a shot at West Ham, there's a 41.3% chance that Payet has passed the ball to him, unless it's Payet himself. And if we take a look at the shots, we'll find something else interesting. Payet is in second on 9 behind Sarko, who is another player that I want to talk about. Sarko is not the kind of player to go and take heaps of shots every week. He's not the kind of player that's going to be putting in key passes. But when he does shoot, he quite often finds the mark. And if we take a look at his shooting stats so far this year, we'll find that he's got 50% of his shots on target. So if he's going to get chances over the next few weeks, I would argue that he's a pretty good chance for a couple of goals. It's slim pickings in the forwards department at the moment. I mean, the usual suspects that we would have gone to in previous years, Aguero, he's not scoring goals freely at the moment. Diego Costa is suspended at the moment, but he's not scoring freely either. Benteke is an injury doubt. Kane is not doing well. We're turning to players like Vardy and Wilson and blokes like that for our forward line, which is unheard of. And at 6.5 million, I think Sarko, considering the fixtures and the form of West Ham, might be an option for the next few weeks. So he'd be someone that I'd be keeping an eye on. I'm not sure what his ownership rate is off the top of my head, but he's someone that is an interesting player to have in your back pocket. So they're 2 players that I'll be looking at over the next few weeks. If they can keep up their away defense form, then maybe take a sneaky look at some of the West Ham defenders. But that is something that I thought you guys would find useful. So keep that in your back of your mind. Good luck for Game Week 7. And I hope you guys collect many a green arrow this week.